Hello learners, in this tutorial we are going to deal with how to model ceiling inside Revit. Before we start dealing with the ceiling part, there was a bit of portion remaining for the floor. Okay, so if you check, like we have covered how to add the points, but in case you want to get rid of any unwanted points, then all you need to do is modify sub element again, and you just need to select the unwanted point and hit delete in order to get rid of any unwanted points that are present in your geometry. Okay, right click in the canvas, hit cancel to get out of the command. So this was all about the little bit pending part of the flow. So precisely now we'll get started with the ceiling part. So ceiling is available again in the build panel under the architecture tab. So just select the ceiling, and here you have two methods of modeling the ceiling. The first one is automated ceiling and the second one is using the sketch. So when you check the properties, you have two types of families by default, that is a basic ceiling of generic type and a compound ceiling of three types, that is 600 by 600 grid, 600 by 1200 grid and a plain one. Okay. For now, we'll move ahead by using 600 by 1200 compound ceiling. Okay. So first we'll check what automated ceiling is. So when I hover my mouse to any enclosed space, as you can see here, there is a line or an outline that is formed representing that it is eligible for using automatic ceiling method. So all you just need to do is left click and your ceiling is now placed. So just go to view and check. Now our ceiling is placed automatically, and the association for it is level 0 and height offset from level is 2600. You can check that as well. So it's 2600 from level 0 that you can see here. And even if you want to edit the boundary after automatic ceiling, just select the element and under the modify tab, you will get edit boundary option and you can edit the boundary if you require. So if you just don't want this ceiling going here, or if you want to change the shape of it, you can do it to an extent, the extra part, and make sure it's a loop and there is no extension or any form of disallowment at any of the joints, and hit OK. So you can see in the 3D, there is a notch formed at the end of the ceiling as we have edited the boundary. So this is something regarding the automatic ceiling modeling method. So again, I'll go to ceiling and now we will see the sketch ceiling method. Select the sketch ceiling method, and firstly boundary line is highlighted, like Revit is asking us to sketch a boundary. So we have the draw tools, those were available for wall floor elements and those are similar to them. Okay, so we have line at our disposal, rectangular, any shape that we desire to use. Okay, for now we'll just check what rectangle is. So for rectangle you need to specify the start point and the diagonal end point. So you can see the outline, it's rectangular, and my rectangular ceiling can be placed by finishing edit mode. So right click here, go to view again, and you can see my ceiling is now placed. You can change the offset as required. I want this ceiling at 2300 from 0 level. So you can change the offset likewise. And if you want ceiling of any other shape, you can do that as well. Sketch ceiling. If I want a circular ceiling, just place it here, hit OK, and you can see the circular ceiling is now created. And as we have used the compound ceiling of 600 by 1200, you can see from the bottom, like the pattern of the compound ceiling. To navigate in a 3D space, all you need to, like, you can use the view cube for going from elevation to elevation, like left, right, front, back. All you need to click on the faces of the cube, east, west, north, south, top, front, left, right. Okay. Or if you're not comfortable with that, all you need to use is press shift and middle scroll button, and you can just drag that scroll button in order to rotate in your 3D view. And to pan, you just need to hold the scroll and drag it in order to pan. And for zooming in, zooming out, you can use the scroll for zooming in and zooming out as well. Okay, so these are the basic navigation tools that are used when working in a 3D view. So this was a basic ceiling, means how a basic ceiling can be drawn. Now we will check how to add a slope ceiling. So we just add a sloping ceiling in this part. So we'll go to ceiling again and sketch ceiling. I will use pick line for now. You can use the pick line, and I'm using the wall faces as a reference. Now you can see as these walls means as these walls are continuous, the using pick line has means it's not forming an exact loop. So when I try to finish the ceiling, Revit will give me an error like lines cannot intersect each other. So it's asking us to make it a proper loop so that the ceiling element can be modeled. So to do this, you all you need to use is trim extend to corners. You can select the first line and second line, so the corner is trimmed. Similarly, all you need to trim this one and this one here as well. Select the first line and select the second line to be trimmed. Select the first line, select the second line. So all my corners are now trimmed. So now assign the slope. Now, if you want to slope in this direction, you can give slope like this, or if you want the slope to be in vertical direction, you can assign the slope arrow in this fashion. Okay. For now, we are good with the horizontal slope. So I am adding the tail at left hand and the head to be present at the right hand. So select the arrow again. And as we have seen in the floor elements, the same stuff is available, or the same part is being repeated for ceiling as well. So the specific under specific, we have two types, that is head height at tail and slope. So when we are checking the head height at tail, we need to specify the level at tail and level at head and their respective offset. So for now, we will keep them as 0, 0, but make sure to check the changes that are happening. I will just keep this as 0, and I will give a 500 offset to level, sorry, at the head, and I just finished. Now you see the ceiling is modeled in slope. The tail of the ceiling is at level 0, and the head is at level 0 with 500 offset. You can move this ceiling using arrow keys up, down. You can move as required, or else you can go again to the edit boundary and select the sloping arrow, and you can define the offsets starting here only. So I need the tail to be present at an offset of 1900 with respect to level 0, and my head to be present at 2100 with respect to level 1. So there would be a difference of 200 between this point and this point. So let's check it out. See, you can see the tail is here and the head is here. Okay, likewise you can assign this slope as required. So now let's check another example, ceiling, automatic ceiling. Okay, I have an automated ceiling here. Now I'll go to edit boundary, and I want to add slope in this direction. So I'll start from here and here. So now instead of using head at tail, I'll go with slope. So default is 0, and offset for tail should be given as 1800 for now, and I want a slope of 2 degrees. And when I hit finish, there is an inclination of 2 degrees starting with the tail starting at 1800 from level 0. You can shift this ceiling up down using the arrow keys as well. Okay, so this is how a slope ceiling, automatic ceiling, and a normal ceiling is modeled. And before we conclude, let's check it out. Another example. Now I have 3 walls here, and if I try to place a automatic ceiling, it won't catch. Like the automatic ceiling tool is auto detected when we have an enclosed space. Here in this example, we don't have any enclosed space, so we are not able to use automatic ceiling in this practice or in this portion. But we can use a sketch ceiling even though the room is not enclosed or the space is not enclosed. See, you are able to place a sketch ceiling, but you are not able to place or use a slope ceiling, automatic ceiling, sorry. So this is the difference of using the sloped and automatic ceiling method. So when I close this space and go back to automatic ceiling again. See, now the automatic ceiling is detected, and we can place ceiling automatic as the space is enclosed. We'll hit OK, and you can see now the ceiling is generated. Also, when dealing with the properties of the ceiling, you have edit type, which was similar to that of floor and wall, as we have seen. So here, this is the family and this is the type, and you can see all the parameters that are present here. Go to edit the structure, if any, and you can add uh, any layers based on your preferences above or below the structure. So the 600 by 1200 tile is below, so it's visible from the interior part. Okay, so this is how layers can be added. If you want, you can insert any layer and move it up down as you require, and you can assign any material to that particular ceiling. For now, I'll just add aluminum and give up any thickness. For now, just for example purpose, I'm adding 25 mm above it and hit OK. Now the preview looks this something like this, and it's a sectional preview, as you can see here, and go OK. If you see it in section, you can see there is a 25 layer of aluminum added above, and there is a 600 by 1200 layer of pattern, ceiling pattern here. Okay, likewise, the family or the ceiling element can be edited based on the user preference. So that's it for now. Hope you are enjoying the learning. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.